How are you?
Hello, Shannon. I'm good. You?
I'm great. I really appreciate you and your willingness to talk to us about this very important issue. I wanted to just let everyone know that you're coming to us from Porto, Portugal. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and your name is Fabio Cesar Sausen. I don't think
Perfect.
I've ever met a Fabio before, so that's pretty neat. So, Fabio, tell our viewers a little bit about you.
So, I am a service manager working in IT for more than 15 years. I work in many companies in Brazil and now in Europe and original from Brazil. And now I'm doing a parallel job as a coach, as a productive coach. I wrote a book. I do this. I like to talk about productivity and personal development on LinkedIn. So this is me, a father of a little daughter and a marathonist. I love to run. I love to travel. I love to read. I I do a lot of things.
Thank you for that. That is amazing. And I'm so happy to have met you. And we were just kind of in the middle of a one on one conversation a little while ago. And I said, we got to pause and just hop on the SQV. So you're here today to talk to us about something that's near and dear to both of our hearts. And that is PTO abuse. And I think that it's a topic that we just don't talk about. It's kind of corporate America's dirty little secret. And I wanted to talk to you on the SQV conversation, our small, quiet voice conversation. We're honoring that in the same way that I did over the past year with the entire book and my memoir, You Have Arrived. So I want to ask you a few questions about that experience that you had. First of all, when you were working for your last company, we don't have to say the company name, but tell us a little bit about how long you were planning that vacation and what that looked like, the planning stages of actually coming to the US and having that vacation that you were so looking forward to with your family.
So in 2018, beginning of 2018, January, uh, I I plan to run a marathon in Miami. So I plan it for a few months to train to a marathon is not something that you do in few weeks. So I trained to that marathon for a few months. And it was the first time I would take my parents to outside of Brazil. So I plan a trip to Miami and Orlando to stay 3 weeks in US with my parents, my wife, and my daughter. And in the first week, I would run the Miami Marathon in end of January 2018. So I traveled to there. So, but since the first day I arrived in Miami, my boss started to call me because there's a lot of problems in one client. And during my week in Miami, I used to work more than 10 hours a day during my vacation. So uh, I couldn't visit anything in Miami. I stay only in the apartment. My wife and my daughter stay in the apartment, look to my face, and said it was the worst vacation ever because you travel 12 hours to sit in apartment and stay close in apartment instead of visit the beautiful Miami. Uh, and I work more than 10, 12 hours in my vacation week, used to sleep 3 or 4 hours. It break all my preparation to the marathon. So one day before the marathon on Saturday, I asked my boss, I need to sleep tonight because I have a marathon to run tomorrow. It's 42 kilometers. I need to be rested. And he has the courage to ask me, what time I have to stop to call you?
Mm.
That question make everything worse because I should have to answer this kind of question when you are in a vacation. And they said I have to sleep. I have to wake up at 5 in the morning to go to the marathon, so I need to sleep at least at 9. Okay, he stopped to come at 9. I sleep that night, but my marathon was already broken. I was planning to run in less than 4 hours. I finished in 4 hours and a half because
Wow.
I was tired. I couldn't have the same speed as I was prepared to do, and the 6 months of my preparation was just lost.
Yeah. I have a couple questions for you. What was your position in the company? And what can you
Uh,
tell me what industry it was?
I was manager. It is an American company. Actually, it was an American company. I was a service manager. I was middle manager position.
Hmm.
My director, when I saw my boss was my director, and I he would be the guy to be replace me. So when the team needs some leadership, they go direct to him. But he couldn't handle the team, so instead of do his job, he called me for everything.
Interesting. Interesting. So he needed you to do your job. He couldn't help you. So was there a training issue, or was it he just not able to take over those roles?
He was not able, and it was not training. It's more action, because most of time he just need to make the question to the team, say, "Oh, why you are doing that? Why you're not doing that?" But it was easier to call me than think and take the actions.
So
So
looking back on that experience, do you think that there would have been something different that your company could have done in order to prepare for your PTO so you could have actually enjoyed your vacation?
probably they they had no concern when, for me, the biggest problem is you plan a vacation and you inform your company, oh, I'll be off for 2 weeks or 2 weeks, and they don't have any concern for do a handover plan before you you go off. So if my boss sit down with me for 2 weeks or 1 week to understand everything that is going on, to understand what is the critical part, everything, all of this could be avoided. But he was not concerned about that, because he said, "Oh, if I have a problem, I will call you." And this mindset is a problem. To avoid call me, he had to sit down and understand what is the risk and how to mitigate that. But they don't want to mitigate. They just ask, "Oh, I call you and you resolve." This was the mindset. And after that situation, the next week they call me more many times, and some of them I said, "Guys, you can resolve it by yourself. You don't need me to resolve that. Why you are calling me my vacations? Just sit down, think, make question, and it's done." But it is the mindset. The mindset is, I don't care. You call you.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. So what were the after effects once you got home and you kind of decompressed and you talked to your wife about, what had happened on your vacation? What happened after that?
But so I decided that I don't want to work for that company anymore. So I start to look for other job, other companies. I change. I moved to another company 6 months later because I said it's unacceptable. Of course, my boss didn't even say sorry for that. Uh, they think, or they thought he was right of doing that. He never asked me if, "Oh, did I create any problem for you? Sorry about the break your marathon," or anything like that. No, he never said that. And for me, it was terrible. I said, "No, I don't want it anymore. I will look for something better." And I started looking for other companies. Then when I found one, I have no doubts to move.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think that really cues up, what I'm trying to do with the PTO affirm certification. So basically the PTO certification is just a way that companies can say, yes, we are affirming that your PTO is sacred and we're not going to contact you. So, in your shoes, back in 2018 or 2019, when you were looking for a new job, how how happy would you have been to see somebody actually having that on the job post? Like, we are affirming PTO.
Absolutely, because for me it is the basic. Every company must be have PTO as a sacred thing, and they never contact the employee. But we know the companies are failing the basics. So when you are sure the company will respect your time off, you have this peace of mind, peace of soul to say, oh, this company, I know when I have my time off, it is only for me and my family, and the company will respect it. So of course, when I changed my company, I didn't know that if my next company will respect it or not. But if I could, it will be something that you make me decide for one company or another, for sure.
Excellent. Excellent. I totally agree with that. I think that it's a very valuable thing. And, the thing about, you live in a different country, you're not even in the United States, but it's a problem. I mean, some countries it's not as bad, but this is something that we're not talking about as a community of business people. And when you get vacation, you're so looking forward to it because we work hard. These middle managers like you and I, we work 10 hours a day, and we need a break, and we're on the edge of our stress level. We need that week or 2 weeks to decompress, and it's a mental health issue. And for your boss not to give you that time, I mean, it's happened to me, and that's what inspired PTO Affirm. And I think something we need to start talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you willing to have this conversation with me. And is there anything else that you would like to tell clients? Because now we're both in this position after, our corporate craziness that we've experienced. Is there anything that you'd like to tell clients about, what they need to do in order to honor folks' mental health in regards to, honoring PTO?
Oh, for me, as I said, I'm a productivity coach, and for me, we need to think in the overall productivity. Sometimes I think, oh, if I call someone in vacation, I will resolve it quicker, so my productivity at this moment will be better. But that person won't take a rest, you'll be demotivated, they won't engage anymore with your company. So in the end, you lose your productivity because you lose that professional. So if you want to be a productive company, you have to think about that, how it will affect my overall productivity. Because if I lose good professional because I'm called then in vacation, my overall productivity will go down. So this the view. You have to think wise to understand what is impact you're doing of what you're doing.
That's a fantastic point. Be proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly.
Thank you so, so much, Fabio. It was great. I hope to see you again. And, I look forward to collaborating with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Shanna. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.